Hi, I'm Amy. Welcome back. I'm just so delighted that y'all have come back for a second week to talk about how to love your neighbor without being weird. Last week, you would have gotten your books and introduced yourselves to one another. And then, as you read chapter one, you got to know a little bit about me and my story. And gosh, I'd love to be there in the living room or the Sunday school room or the coffee shop, wherever you are all meeting and sit and hear your stories with you. So, you'll have a chance, though, today to share a little bit about your life and your loves with the women who are in your group today. So it's a safe place, it's a confidential place, it's a place where you really can talk about what God has done in your life. And so as you start to share with one another, I just wish I was there with you, getting to know you each as you get to know one another. So you're going to read in chapter one and talk about the different stages of our lives and our walk with God. And in my life, that meant, unfortunately, that I did walk away from Him for a good 20 years. Yeah, I know I don't even look 20, right? So you can humor me on that one. But it was a long time, and it was too long of a time. And then when I did come back to Him and He did welcome me back, and He did give me this idea and this inspiration, not a new thing really, but just this love your neighbor thing. As he and I prayed together, it was less like prayer and it was more like debate. Me telling God why this was a bad idea, and me telling God why this was impossible. And as we spend more time together, you'll learn a lot more about my fears and excuses. They're probably very similar to yours. I may have more that you never thought of that maybe you can add to your repertoire. But a lot of my prayer was just really explaining why this was not going to be possible for me. And so as I talked to God, it became just as important for me to listen to God and just allow Him to shape my will and to shape my desires and give me a trust in Him that this was something that He would be responsible for and not me. But I did have to play along. A lot of times in my prayer life, I'll use prayer sometimes as an excuse. Sometimes people have asked me to do something that, frankly, I just didn't want to do, and so I use that as an excuse and say, "Well, let me pray about that." And what I mean is, let me have some time to think about that and give you a godly explanation as to why I really can't do it. So, as you pray about your neighbors and your neighborhood and your role in your neighborhood and how it would look for you to love your neighbor, I do pray that you would allow God to maybe speak something to you that's a little out of your comfort zone, that stretches you a bit. Just truly, truly trust Him. We've given you lots of great tools. We've given you scripture that you can pray not only for your neighbors, but how you can pray for yourself as you set off for this journey, because it's important that you have your heart in the right place, which is right in God's pocket, letting Him lead you. We've given you tools that you can get your neighbor's name so you can pray for them by name. But as you pray for the other people in your neighborhood and those God has very carefully placed around you, don't forget to pray for yourself. And I pray that our own ears and eyes and hearts and homes would be open to our neighbors. Now, Sarah's going to tell you about an incredible experience she had praying in her neighborhood.